$1,500 to win. Lead them out, second generation driver out of Wartburg, Tennessee. That will be the Z1 of Zach Shannon. Behind him, that'll be the 25 of Winchester, Tennessee's Chase Walls. And over there in turn number 4, there's yesterday's winner, that Rusty Webb Motorsports CVR race car number 22. That will be Hayden Cardwell. On the backstretch, young driver out of Powell, Tennessee. That'll be Dakota James Smith in the 3. And that'll do it for our first group of 604 late model hot laps of qualifying. Yesterday's winner, Hayden Cardwell in that 22. He is quickest so far. Zach Shannon, second quickest in the Z1 car. Second group of 604s coming to the Speedway. Leading them out, driver out of southeastern Kentucky. That'll be the 20 of Glenn Hansel. Glenn Hansel out of Paint Lick, Kentucky. Behind him, that'll be the 17 of Chip Brindle. The 64, that is A.J. Hicks. The 89 of Brandon Miller. The 04 of Jack Brown. And that'll be the 22T of Tim Clark. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be in the staging lane. Open wheel modifieds need to be in the staging lane. Chip Brindle goes second quickest. Now we got a new quick time. Brandon Miller in 89, 15.661. A.J. Hicks, he'll go second quickest. Now change that. Chip Brindle goes back second quickest, 15.680. So Hayden Cardwell moved all the way from first to fourth. As we got a spinner over in turn number 4. That'll be the 22T of Tim Clark. So Brandon Miller in that 89 machine out of Maryville, Tennessee. Quick time, 15.661. Chip Brindle in the 17. He's currently second quickest. A.J. Hicks in the 64, third quickest. Hayden Cardwell, fourth quickest. So lots of tough competition here in the hot laps of qualifying for the 604 late models, and we're only halfway through. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be in the staging lane. Brandon Miller still with the quick time. That's CVR race car number 89. Checker flag in there for the second group of 604 late models. Brandon Miller in the 89. He's quickest, 15.661 overall. Chip Brindle second quickest, 15.680. AJ Hicks stays third quickest. Addison Cardwell fourth quickest. Here we go, our third group, leading them out. Driver out of Chatsworth, Georgia. That'll be the black and yellow number 1, Mitchell Stanley. Mitchell Stanley in the 1 behind him from right here in Seymour. And that CVR race car number 10B, that'll be Bradley Llewellyn. Bradley Llewellyn in the 10B. And a young man that made a great impression here yesterday afternoon. Drive out of Clinton, Tennessee. That Stone Plus number 24. That is so Anthony White Jr. started on the pole yesterday. And has only had a handful of starts in the late model. Behind him, the driver out of Kentucky, the 14 junior, Dwight Smith Jr., and the 21. That would be Mario Gresham. Mario Gresham in the 21 was not here yesterday. Mario Gresham in that blue and white number 21 out of Rome, Georgia. Third group, 604 hot laps and qualifying. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheel modifieds need to be in the staging lane. Also in this third group, former 604 points champion here at 411 Motor Speedway. That will be Rusty Ballinger. Rusty Ballinger second quickest in this group. Mitchell Stanley, fifth quickest overall. He's quickest out of this group. And with the white flag in the air, checker flag in the air now, Rusty Ballinger spins over in turn number 4. Rusty Ballinger second quickest out of this group, 6th quickest overall. Mitchell Stanley quickest out of this group. He's 5th quickest overall. So as it stands right now, Brandon Miller quickest, Chip Brindle second, AJ Hicks third, Hayden Cardwell fourth, and Mitchell Stanley, your top 5 qualifiers so far in 604 hot laps and qualifying. Open wheel modifieds. Open wheelers need to be in the staging lane. Nope. We're going to keep them going. Kentucky, that will be the 7 of Brian Smith. Behind him, getting a push. That looks like a young driver out of Chatsworth, Georgia. That is the 87 of Zane Littleton. Zane Littleton in the 87. Also in this group, the 9 of Toma Johnson, the 4 of Ryan Falk, and another Kentucky driver, the 317 of Blake Creech. And one more car in this group. That'll be the P1. And that's out of Paintsville, Kentucky. That is Bill Prater. So fourth group, as we're trying to get to 87 of Zane Littleton started here on the front stretch. And that Kryptonite chassis number 17. So trying to get that young driver, Zane Littleton, looks like he's trying his best. We'll give him every chance that we can. All right, so they do get the 87 of Zane Littleton underway. We'll turn them loose here for this fifth group of the 604 late model hot laps and qualifying. So Bill Prater spins over to turn number 4, gets it back underway. Brian Smith got it completely sideways over in turn 4, gathers it back up. He's 19th quickest so far. And looks like the quickest out of this group might be the 317 of Blake Creech. And he is 17th quickest overall. And now move Brian Smith up to 15th quickest. Very stout 604 late model field here this afternoon, racing for $1,500 to win. So a couple of cars turned around over in turn number 4. That's the 9 of Toma Johnson and the 317 of Blake Creech. So Brandon Miller, Chip Brindle still the 2 quickest cars. Here we go, 5th group of 604 late models coming out for their hot laps and qualifying. Leading this group out, that will be the 113 of Harriman, Tennessee's Chris McKinney. And behind him, his wasn't here yesterday, and that will be the 12. Or excuse me, the 1S, that'll be Jack Jarrell. Jack Jarrell out of Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Also in this group, the 777 of Blake Skelly out of Lenore City, Tennessee. Over in turn number 2, that'll be the blue, orange, and white number 31 of West Tilly. We'll turn this 5th group loose. Also in this group, over to turn number 2, drive out of Cobra, Virginia. Wasn't here yesterday. That is the 46 of Stephen Martin. Stephen Martin in the 46 as Chris McKinney. Must be a magnet over there in turn number 4, Spanky, as they're all spinning just about the same spot. So maybe that Uke tire may have a magnet in it. And pulling those cars around, so. Tricky track here at 411 Motor Speedway, but the track is in impeccable shape. And credit that to Mitch McCarter and his fine crew here, getting this track in shape once again for racing here at 411 Motor Speedway. White flag in the air for this last and final group of 604 late model hot laps and qualifying. Checker flag in the air. And that will do it for 604 late model hot laps of qualifying. Brandon Miller and Chip Brindle will be on the front row of the feature. AJ Hicks, Hayden Cardwell will be in the second row. Mitchell Stanley, Rusty Ballinger will be in the third row. And that will do it for 604 hot laps of qualifying. We'll give the microphone back over to Michael Despain, getting ready for hot laps of qualifying for open wheel modifieds.